All right, so Microsoft Bing just came out with their own image generation tool, which is using this DALI model. Nobody cares really. It's using a model to generate artificial intelligence images. And what I actually did in this video is I tried to do a comparison between MidJourney and Microsoft Bing image create is what they're calling it, to kind of see if it stacks up. My first impressions right off the top is Microsoft Bing is significantly slower, a lot slower than MidJourney, and I currently have MidJourney on probably the highest tier. I've upscaled the images and paying for that, and it's significantly better, significantly faster. However, based on the fact that Image Create is free, I'm sure it's going to get better, and Microsoft is going to throw more hardware at this, and at some point it will catch up. The other thing I'll add is that the Microsoft Image Create, the faces seem a little bit odd, and the body, like the hands, are still a little off. But that being said, if you're using it to kind of generate images to put on graphics and stuff, you could always overlay graphics on the different parts of the image. So with that, I'm going to switch to the computer and I'll show you sort of what are my experience with the entire tool. So hopefully you get something out of it. Thanks. So I'm on the Bing website, and what I'm going to do is just kind of show you what you can do. So first of all, to get to it, you need to go to bing.com/create, and then they give you this sort of, things that were generated by AI, and you just need to just put in a prompt. So what would be the prompt? Apparently I only have 9 credits because I guess you don't want to run out of credits. So let's say let's describe me. I don't know how good it'll do this. A black working at a computer early morning. In the early morning, I guess. The early morning. So black, yeah, sure, let's do that. So apparently this is using, I can't create, what's going on? Let's do that. Paste, create, really? Let's try refreshing again. Okay, create button is there. Paste something, there we go. All right, so let's try that now. So let's see what it comes up with. And while we're doing that, just to compare this, we're gonna go to MidJourney and we're gonna do the exact same thing. And then I'll show you some other tricks that I've come up with in order to put together some more complex thoughts around images, which is exactly what everybody's doing. So it's not any single thing new. So dismiss. So this is my general chat. Now, can I make another chat for experiments? I actually don't know. Create a channel. So let's try to chat it in here. So imagine. Yes, I can. So imagine a black entrepreneur working at a computer in the early morning. So let's just compare it to MidJourney and see what we're going to get from MidJourney versus Bing. Okay. I mean, they all have more hair than I do, but that's okay. So let's see what they got here. So, what does that look like? So it looks okay. I mean, the sunset, and I guess that describes early morning. The computer looks, I don't know if the, it might just be the angle because it's a flat screen, but it kind of looks like a CRT monitor, one of the old tube monitors. Every single thing else kind of holds up, except for this mouth area, which I don't know what's going on there, but it seems to have a problem with the mouth, and I'll show you what I mean in a bit, because I did another image generation earlier, and it definitely had some issues with somewhere around here, like the face / mouth. It's just a little problematic for it. So let's see what this one looks like. So yeah, you see what I mean? Like it's just it's possible to somebody to look like this, just to be clear, right? But it's just between the mouth and the hands, I've noticed a little bit of distortion. And let's see what this guy looks like. So this looks a little bit better, except that I'm going to argue that, again, the hands look weird. Hands look weird. So this has been sort of the pattern that I've observed with, yeah, see this? Just the face and the hands, just a teeny bit off. However, oh, this is interesting. I didn't generate this. Oh, you know what I did? I clicked on surprise me. So you can click on the surprise me button and it'll generate images. Yeah, this is easy. So I did a previous one and I put a really long description, and I'll show you how I'm coming up with these descriptions in a bit, because I definitely didn't think about this on my own. And again, because of my business, I'm looking for contractor type images. But just look at this, for instance, right? Like you see again, the face and the hands, right? It has problems generated face and hands. And this one here seems a little bit better, but this it seems okay. Let me see the hands. Yeah, the hand seems all right. This kind of makes a little bit more sense. So, and then you have this one here. Look at the face a little bit, right? Like, actually, no, this could be somebody's face, I guess. I don't know, you know. But look at the, see, there's some slight distortion. Yeah, see this? It's like just so slightly with the hands and the thing. But again, usable images, right? See the hands again? Just slightly so weird. So that's the problem. But let's go to MidJourney. So again, I have that same prompt in MidJourney. So let's see what they came up with, right? So now, if you notice, the thing about MidJourney is that their images are a lot darker, significantly darker. In fact, I feel like I need to take this into Photoshop and brighten it up. But fantastic job with the face, or at least much better, right? Like the details around the face is significantly better. This kind of looks like a semi-CRT, doesn't it? And yeah, like definitely a lot more variations. Maybe I should tell them bald. I'm kind of getting bald a little bit, so these people just got way too much hair for me, man. But yeah, so this is the MidJourney, and again, I've upscaled this, so I'm paying a little bit more for the upscaling, but the images are fantastic, right? Like this is something I could put in a brochure or something, right? It has a lot of details now. Keyboard looks just a bit off from my perspective. This keyboard looks a little bit better, but yeah, this one looks much better, and this one looks much better. This one seems a little, I don't know why you'd have, you know, these are the regular keys, then you have just other side of keys here. But anyway, other than that, these are impressive. They're very impressive, I think. So with that, let me just show you quickly how I'm actually generating the prompt so that you could get some ideas on how to do this stuff. I've been legit breaking ChatGPT and doing this. So the prompt that I came up with to kind of give thing, and again, this is because I'm focused on business, all right? So what am I doing? Let's do it in Notepad. So this is the format that I came up with after kind of experimenting a little bit here. Is oops, no, that's not what I want to paste. Windows V. You know what? Just copy this again. Copy. There. So given an electrician in this particular case, so I'm given it the company, like so this could be the whatever industry, right? Create a list of 50 tasks. This might be too much right now. ChatGPT is actually having some real problems. The load is just unbelievable with this tool, so they constantly keep crashing. But I'm going to keep pushing it because they just got to get their act together, because this is game changer stuff here. So create a list of 50 tasks a technician would perform and describe in details what the work the technician, right, would do, right? So you can and then I said the description should be as though a photographer took the picture. So this is what has allowed me to kind of get much better images. So you could replace this and say, I don't know, you could say given a teacher, right, a teacher given at an RY school, elementary. Can I spell elementary? Elementary school. Oh, that's great. Oh, that's Grammarly. Sorry, I thought that was a Microsoft thing. So, given a teacher at an elementary school, create a list of, and I'm just gonna do like 2 for now. List of 2 tasks so you got to put it in the description here, right? Worked at industry, profession, occupation, UTION, occupation. I have dyslexia, so AOCCU, AOCCUPATION. I tend to can't spell words properly sometimes. So that the occupation, right, would think. So in this particular case, given an elementary school teacher, create a list of 2 tasks or 50 or 10 or whatever, right? That task a teacher so occupation again here, and I'll put this description in the chat so at least it makes sense for you, just in case you want to copy and paste it. All right, so given a teacher at an elementary school, create a list of 2 tasks a teacher would perform and describe in detail the work the teacher would do for each job. The description should be as though the photographer took a picture, right? So that's kind of how I'm using it to describe it. So based on that, I've been able to get some fairly good results. So I'm going to go to Discord again, and we'll do it in here /imagine, right? And if you don't know how to do this, go look at my previous videos on this stuff, and then you'll see. So we'll give it a second because I have the higher plan. It's taking a little bit longer, so I'm going to pause it so they don't run the video too long, and then I'll come back once it's finished, and then we'll see what it generated. Sorry, you know what? I made a mistake. I actually put this stuff in the wrong prompt. This is not supposed to go to MidJourney first. This is supposed to go to ChatGPT first. So we're supposed to take that. Made a mistake there, sorry about that, and paste that in ChatGPT. ChatGPT will now take the description that I gave it and then basically come up with a proper description given for a teacher, right? So prepare the lesson plan, right? So the teacher is seated at a desk surrounded by an array of teacher materials, including text box, wood, workbooks, and education poster. A laptop is open, right? So you see the description is what I'm giving to ChatGPT to describe what the photographer should be seeing while they're taking the photo, and this is what is allowing me to take that and put it into MidJourney to kind of get detailed images, right? So that's a format that I seem to work. So if you're doing any kind of stuff with business, I think this format will give you a really good result. So let's find out, right? So the only thing that's missing here is I forgot to mention this, but you need to add so I have it here. So what you should add to this, I'm just going to put it in ChatGPT, but really and truly what you should tell it is begin each sentence with, and what you have to do is tell it so begin each sentence with at the end, and then put the sentence. So in this particular case, I wanted to always say an elementary school teacher, right? So I wanted to say an elementary school teacher because then MidJourney will be able to understand a little bit more the context, right? So an elementary school teacher, right? School teacher is seated at their, right? So that's basically what I wanted to do. So at the end of that line, you will put an elementary school teacher or whatever profession, right? So that you tell it to begin each sentence. Therefore, you don't have to keep writing it every time. Hopefully that makes sense. So now let's take that, put it in MidJourney now. And again, I'm going to pause the video and then I'm going to imagine prompt, enter. And let's see what it comes up with, and we'll give it a second. We'll wait and I'll pause it and then we'll switch back once it's done. Okay, so the first portion of it is coming in. So this is basically how it is because I have the high res version. It just takes a little bit longer to kind of get it going properly. So it'll come like that, then it'll kind of shift like this, which is kind of cool because it's started to help you to see the build up of the data structure that's using to come up with the image all together. So I think it normally does it like 4 or 5 times. I just thought I'd share that with you. Then it's going to get just a little bit brighter and then you'll see it in a sec again. There we go. Just watch it again. Okay, so while the MidJourney stuff is going, I'm going to compare it now to the Bing just to kind of see what sort of images come about. And again, once it's finished, I'm going to show you sort of the results between the two, and then we'll at least do a head-to-head comparison. So what I'll say so far is that the Microsoft one is taking ridiculously long, significantly longer. Now this bar is suggesting that it's going to complete in a few minutes, so we'll see how far. Let's hope that when it gets to the end, it actually finishes up. But what I've noticed is that the processing time on the Bing image search is significantly longer. It's a little painful, to be honest with you. At least with the MidJourney, you start to see some progress right away, so it kind of gives you some indication. Yeah, see that bar? Meaningless, because it just went all the way to the end and then it's just jumping back. So it's just taking forever. So let me switch over to the MidJourney one, because I'll just finish up in a bit and I'll show you what it came up with. So this is what it came up with. So these four, and I gotta say, just at first glance, they're super impressive. However, there's a couple mistakes, which is interesting. So let me open it up in the browser. You'll see what I mean. So if you look at this, so at first glance, these all seem pretty good, right? But then you start to look a little closer. At least they look very realistic, which I will say, right? And again, that's because I specifically put in photographer and describe it from a photographer standpoint, right? But then if you look closely, so you see here, this is good. Her face looks fairly normal. There's nothing that I can see that's really stand out. This eye looks a little bit bulgy, but I mean, you know, there's people with imperfections like that all the time, so it's realistic is what I'm saying. However, here, the hands, look at that, right? Got a little bit of problem there, so it just kind of just warps it a little bit. But otherwise, this hand is perfect. Like, this is a proper hand. The watch face, it looks a little bit smudgy, and this bracelet, maybe it's not a bracelet, but it kind of just half in her hands. And then on this one here, face looks normal. Yeah, don't see any single distortion there. Image, hands looks much better, right? Same thing over here. Well, actually, no, that's not true. Her hands look a little funny here. See, right in there? I can't go zoom in anymore. But yeah, just right there, the hands look a little bit funny. This one is the worst of all, though. Look at her hands. So her facial expression, like this is very normal person in every sense of the word. The picture on the desk, except that it just messed up the right. So I don't even know how to describe this, because it's like one hand merged into the other hand, which then has a pen that does, I don't know what's going on there. So it just, yeah, there's some alien stuff happening there that I can't describe, but otherwise this is fantastic. So hopefully, let's see if the Bing image actually finishes. I'm going to switch over to that right now. Okay, so the Bing image finish, and interestingly enough, what I'll say is right on the top, every single thing looks fairly normal. Now, less variation. What I liked about the MidJourney is that it gave me, you know, almost 4 different or 2 different ethnicity and just randomness. This one here is a little bit more closer to the same, what I'd argue the same, but like these two definitely the same. These 3 could probably be argued the same teacher, right? And then this one here. So let's see what it looks like. So, see, there's something with the Microsoft generation tool on faces. It's like, I don't know, man. You know, you could argue the face is fine, but the eyes, right? The eyes are just, they're off. And then let's see this one here. This one looks a little bit normal, but then again, you see see, it just doesn't get eyes right. And here, yeah, see there, right? It's just teeny bit off, and they're gonna have to do something about it. They're gonna have to really hyper train the models on eyes to kind of get it right? Eyes with glasses, etc. This one is probably the one that looks closest to normal, but look at the hands, right? So I might have missed some other stuff on the other ones, because see, the hands are hidden behind the laptop. And if I was an AI model that didn't know how to produce hands, I'd probably do the same. I just put everybody's hands behind objects. So anyway, that's just me cracking myself up here. But yeah, you get the idea. So hopefully this makes some sense and you've gotten some idea between the two. But at this particular point, I'm going to say without a doubt, MidJourney is clearly the winner in this particular thing. And again, I'm going to keep experimenting. What I'll do is I'll ensure that I drop the format that I have here in the description, so that you can copy it, this format here. Okay, thanks.